Good morning, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of the First Family of Las Vegas's Daily Free Winner Show, brought to you by the best website on the planet, your one-stop sports betting shop, Sports Memo. Guys, we have a great show for you today. I am very excited about this panel. Let me go around the horn, then I'll do some individuals. My good friend, it's got to be past midnight where he is, Tokyo Brandon, the best-looking guy on the planet, Pavlos Laguretos, making a Muhammad Ali-like return to the Fast Family Show, my good friend Kevin Thomas, and a guy who's busting books all over the world, Don Buster. Tokyo Brandon, let me start with you. Good morning, I should say good evening.
It's 1 a.m. here in Tokyo, but yeah, doing all right. Hope everyone else is doing all right. Appeared with Buster and Pavlos before, never appeared with Kevin before, but hey, we're going to have a good show today.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Both you and Kevin are big baseball guys. I got a question for you guys in a minute. Let me go to the Greek god of soccer, Pavlos Laguretos. Hello, Pavlos. How are you today, buddy?
Hey, Joe. Hey, everybody. It's a really nice day. Coming off a nice win in my 5% yesterday. Actually, I won all 4%, all 5% bets last week. So it's been going really nice. I have a huge play loaded. I have a nice replay for the show. So I want to hear what you guys have to say as well.
I'm glad to have you guys. I'm telling you right now, I said it in the intro, making a Muhammad Ali-like return to the ring to the First Family, Kevin Thomas, one of our favorites. KT, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Joe. Thanks for having me. And I think right now I'm 3-0 in college basketball, so I'm running that as the sharp money starting to take over in the college arena. So thank God. Took a while.
Kevin, you are no stranger to leaderboards. You are a leaderboard fixture over at Sports Memo, and I'm happy to have you back. Thank you. My good buddy, one of my favorite people on the planet. He's been busting books. Don Buster, how are you today?
I'm very good, Joe. Hey, guys. Always great to be on the panel with guys here, and I get to write down their plays so I can make a little more money on things that I wouldn't usually bet. So looking forward to that, and always thanks for always having me on the Wednesday mornings, Joe. Much appreciated.
Guys, I look forward to sharing a panel with each one of you. You know, I get to listen. I'll be honest, man. I get to handpick who comes on this show, and I'm honored to share this panel with you guys because you are not just some of the best in the industry. You're some of my favorite people on the planet. So I appreciate all of you. Having said that, you know how I normally start the show? I turn to my left, or if you're dyslexic, I turn to my right. And I say good morning to my wife, the First Lady of Las Vegas, who's all over the sports leaderboards, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. She's taking the day off, so it's a boys' club. So, guys, the cat's away, the mice are playing. We could scratch our privates. We could spit. We could talk about strippers. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We'll probably not do any of that. But I do want to talk about two bits of I don't want to say fluff, but items that I like to talk about. Then we have a few discounts. Then we're going to get into a slew of free winners, guys. We got hockey. We got basketball. We got soccer. We got NBA. You name it, we got it. But I do want to talk about two things. First of all, guys, you know I live in Southern Nevada. We have one major newspaper in the state of Nevada. And I come from the Lower East Side. I lived in Manhattan for most of my life. Well, I'm here 32 years, so I guess I live in Vegas for most of my life. But I lived in Manhattan for over 20 years, and we had about 100 newspapers. I'm not joking. We had probably 70 dailies. You know, you got quite a few English-speaking. You had Spanish-speaking. You had Asian-speaking. But we had about 70 daily newspapers, and you know, the headlines are always the headlines, and I get it. And I was in the newspapers quite often because I was a high school phenom athlete, and they always talked about, you know, because inner city kids in my high school. But I read about the Raiders every day. And now I'm picking it up, and guys, I want to show you this. Guess who's coming? Options at quarterback. You see Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers? Guys, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, I've said it for the last few weeks because the rumors have been circulating about Brady. I've been in Tom Brady's presence 6, 8, 9 times. Always at events, sporting events, boxing events, other events. I've never seen him sober. Now, I'm not putting him down. The guy's the greatest quarterback of all time. He's the most successful NFL player of all time. You're never going to see a guy win as many rings as him, period. But I've seen this guy here in Vegas on 8 or 9 occasions. I've seen him. I was in the first row for the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight while Donald Trump, Marky Mark, and him were in the 5th and 6th rows. Pays to be Joe D in Vegas, I'll tell you that. And I've never seen this guy sober. I saw him at a Kentucky Derby. I was at the Kentucky Derby and saw him. He couldn't walk. I saw him here a half a dozen, 6, 7, 8 times. Couldn't walk. If this guy moves here, there's 4 bars on every corner, and they give free liquor away. And I got to tell you, I'm going to tell you right now, I will fade this guy if he comes every week. Now, Kevin is a Packer fan. What's your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers possibly wearing the silver and black? What's your thoughts there, Kev?
I think he's got a 60% chance of going there. He's gonna end up somewhere warm. It's either gonna be there or Miami. I don't think he would take the Buccaneers job away from, filling Tom's shoes. I could see him if Miami pushes, but out there in California, can't you smoke ganja and stuff legally all over the place? Aaron Rodgers, he might not be an alcoholic, but he's a pothead. He likes those mushrooms and stuff. You guys can have him. I'll help pack his bag. I'll drive him out there. I just want a second round draft pick and give us Carr. We'll take him. We'll take a second round in Carr. Maybe maybe a pass rusher too.
Now, guys, there's one more item I want to talk about. Then I got a couple of discounts. Then we're going to get to today's free winners. We've got some great free plays from this all-star panel. I want to talk about the MLB Hall of Fame, guys. All right. Now, I'm very old school, guys. I don't even want to get into the NFL Hall of Fame, where I think literally half the guys in the NFL Hall of Fame don't belong there. I'm not a big hockey guy. I'm not even going to, touch base on that. I think 40%, maybe more, of the MLB Hall of Fame guys that have already been inducted do not belong in the Hall of Fame. Now we've got Scott Rowland. People are upset about Todd Helton. They're talking about, I got to tell you, Scott Rowland was a good ball player. Todd Helton, here he is. Wait a minute. This is the best. This is a franchise icon with the Colorado Rockies. That's like being the toughest guy in Rhode Island. I'm sorry, sports fans. I'm going to tell you right now. Then they're talking about guys like A-Rod, Manny Ramirez, Carlos Beltran. All guys that have the numbers, but because they're surrounded by steroid controversies and this and that aren't getting in. I'm going to tell you about this list. Scott Rowland, 76% of the votes, does not belong in. Todd Helton, very good ball player. I'd want him on my team if I had a team, but he's not a guy I go out of my way to get. Billy Wagner, forgot he even played in the major leagues. Andrew Jones, outstanding fielder, good ball player, not a great ball player. Look at the rest of these guys. Gary Sheffield, Carlos Beltran, Jeff Kent, A-Rod, great numbers, juicing. Manny Ramirez, guys, his hat size went up 3 inches. 3 inches. Does not belong in. He's cheating. Omar Vizquel, Andy Pettit. I'm a Yankee fan. I loved Andy Pettit. Not rumors. He took the steroids. At least the guy admitted it, but he took the steroids. Bobby Abreu, Jimmy Rollins. I'll talk to Kevin about that. Francisco Rodriguez. I don't even know who he was. And Corey Hunter. Kevin, Tokyo Brandon was a baseball scout. Let me go to Tokyo Brandon. What's your thoughts on the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame?
Out of all the names you just read, look, I mean, I used to be in that industry, and every time in the Hall of Fame comes up, we all just chuckle because the Hall of Fame is it's a glorified popularity contest, and nobody really takes it seriously anymore because they let too many people in. Of that whole list you read, I would consider Todd Helton, but besides him, no.
Guys, I got to tell you something. I think 40% of the guys inducted in.
You're right.
Don't belong there. Look at the first couple of classes, And I also want to say, Kevin, any thoughts about this list or the MLB Hall of Fame? Because you're a huge baseball.
Oh, it sounds like it's more about whoever wins Golden Gloves because Jimmy Rollins and Scott Rowland, I follow Phillies a lot. Both of them won a ton of them. And Jimmy Rollins, I would pick him up out of most of those guys because without him, they didn't win that World Series. The guy was a stud and a great leadoff hitter. So I would pick him out of all of them.
You know what?
I'm pretty sure he was natural. He might be one of the only few on that list that
for sure. I mean, he was just but there's a difference between being an MVP and being a Hall of Famer. So you're right. He's definitely an MVP for that team, for that era, because he was a great leadoff hitter. I guess it just all goes back to what the criteria is for the Hall of Fame. And for me, I think it's like the cream of the crop. And those guys you just read are not the cream of the crop.
They're not the cream of the crop. Hey, buddy, they're not even the what do you call that? The backflow at the bottom of the glass. I watched a guy the other night on television who's even angrier than I am. Makes me look like a Mahatma Gandhi. Bomani Jones. This guy's angry. Oh my God! But he was talking about NBA, MVPs. He's like, guys, a prerequisite is you got to have a winning team. Some of these guys are not on winning teams. And that was the whole thing. Well, I'll talk about that.
I disagree with that. I don't think your team matters. It's just like pitchers. I don't think wins matter because you can't control your wins. I mean, there are a lot of good pitchers that were on losing teams. I disagree with that.
Let me go to my friend Don Buster, who shares a lot of views as I do. Don Buster, over the last few days, I read several articles. Willie Mays, Stan Musial, and Tom Seaver all went to management and said, I deserve a pay cut. I didn't have a great year. 3 times, as 3 of the highest paid players in baseball said, I didn't have a great year. I want to give you money back. They gave money back. And the following years, they all kicked ass.
Those are all bona fide Hall of Famers, too.
But 3 guys that were Willie Mays, arguably one of the 3 or 4 best all-around greatest baseball players ever lived. You got Tom Seaver, who didn't have a lot of great teams, but God, man, was he good. And you've got Stan Musial, one of the greatest hitters of all time. Don Buster, you think anybody in today's major sports would say, hey, guys, I'll say in a shitty year, let me give you some money back, and if I earn it next year, I'll give it back for you. What do you think, Don Buster?
I'll tell you right now, unfortunately, the way the world runs, it's all about the dinero, as we like to say in Espanol. So it's that's just the way. That's unfortunately that's the way it is. It really is, Joe, and everybody on here knows that the athletes in this day and age, they won't care. They'll do whatever they have to do to get the best contract. And unfortunately, maybe some of them would like to do something like that, Joe. But why can't they? Because they all have these big company agents, and that shit will never happen as long as they have that. There's no way that can happen. Even if the guy wanted to, no way could it ever happen.
I heard a rumor this week that Ezekiel Elliott said, guys, give me a pay cut so we could get some more players here. And then somebody said, why would we want you here? Now, I'm not even going to get into that, but I got to tell you, man, it's just, if I was an owner, because I heard this Bomani Jones says, oh, man, we need this, we need that. The owners are so full of bunk. Give the players more of this. Let me tell you something, guys. If I'm an owner, if I own a restaurant, you can't cut it, you're gone. Or if you keep breaking dishes, you're going to pay for the plates. Having said that, I don't have a problem paying a guy what he is worth, but there's going to be stipulations. If you get X amount of touchdowns or score X amount of points, I'll give you a bonus. But if you don't, you get money taken away. I would love to sit down with some of these agents because I'll tell you what, I probably have like 5 guys from the CBA as my starting 5 in the NBA because I would lose every major guy in the NBA. It's ego. It's a pain in the ass. But you know what? What about loyalty, tradition, maybe giving something back to the fans? Having said all that, guys, we've got a great show. I got a couple of discounts. Then we're get into some free winners. $2 Tuesday cappers still available. Your handsome, sexy, and savory host, Joe D'Amico, over at Sports Memo. And my good buddy, Jazz Ray, one of the sweetest, best cappers on the planet, over at WagerTalk. $2 a piece. We have a discount. Me and my wife, the first lady of Las Vegas, she's on 4 sport leaderboards. I'm only doing 3 right now. I'm on 3 sport leaderboards. 7 days for Joe or Dionne D'Amico, all access pass, $59. Use code PASS57 upon checkout. My good buddy, Tokyo Brandon. Oh, my God. Let's call him TB. He's killed more bookmakers than TB has killed people at the turn of the century. Tokyo Brandon, World Baseball Classic, all access. $55. Use code WBC55 upon checkout. Guys, I've never seen anybody as good as him in that World Baseball Classic. I'll tell you that. We're going to be showing these discounts throughout the show. Let's start off, man. We're going to go to our leadoff hitter, our Ricky Henderson today. Guys, I love him. I love him. You love him. An Ali-like return to the ring, to the First Family Show. Kevin Thomas is all over the Sports Memo leaderboard. He just told you 3-0 college basketball, but you've been seeing his name no matter what the sport, no matter what the time of the year, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. He is all over the Sports Memo leaderboards. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side at Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet. Kevin Thomas, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Joe. I'd rather be associated with the Schwar bomber. Ricky Henderson's above my time, so I'm young. Right here, I'm going to go in college basketball. Like I said, I've been 3-0 red hot. College basketball, it seems like now the sharp money's tending to lead us in the right direction, except for yesterday. Now I didn't have a bet on it, but man, Miami, they kicked Florida State's ass. That was embarrassing. But besides that, we're going to go ahead and look at the ACC. This is actually going to be one of my premium picks. As I gave it to Joe at 3 a.m, I just kept thinking about it, and I fell in love with it. So I'm going with it. And as I watched the money, it did go from actually sharp to almost perfect even, which kind of scares me a little bit. But in this situation, I always tend to lean on home teams that are playing a team with a better record in conference play. So we have Wake Forest going to Pitt. Now Wake Forest is 14-6, and then we got Pitt at 13-7. Pitt is off a horrible loss against Florida State University. Now Pitt, they're not a big team, but neither is Wake. But Pitt actually prides himself on defense, and they had no defense in that Florida State game. They gave up 50% 3 points, 20 shots taken, 10 3-points made. That's horrible. And they also gave up 51% on the floor. So the focus on this game is going to be defense, defense, defense. Now we look at Wake. They've actually been really good. 14-6 ain't bad record right there. But their road wins. It's same with Pitt. The road wins. You look at Boston College. You look at Louisville. These guys are the bottom feeders of the ACC. But what we do look at is who Pitt beat at home so far. North Carolina, Virginia, who probably is the top team in the ACC right now. So it's going to be tough for Wake to go in there. I know they're getting 3. It's going to be tough for them to go in there and beat Pitt. Pitt off that loss. Wake got a big game at home against NC State, who's 16-5. So I'm not saying Wake, this is a look ahead game for Wake. No conference game right now is a look ahead. These guys want to get, into the playoffs. They want to get into that big dance. So I'm going to ride with Pitt here. I just like what they're doing at home. That Louisville loss, I think, is going to get them extra motivated for this game here. So, like I said, Wake beat Clemson, lost to Clemson on the road. Wake got destroyed on the road. The UVA. Pitt beat UVA at home. I really don't tend to look at that. I really look at the lines and the money. Like I said, it was very sharp early in the morning with Pitt. Then it started evening out. Looks like Wake might be a little sharp here, but I'm still going to ride Pitt here. And it's still going to be a premium pick that you're getting for free.
KT, Kevin Thomas. I love him. You love him. He said the Pitt Panthers. He's going to stay with it. Kevin, did you say this is going to be a premium play or it is a premium play?
It already is locked in as a premium play, so you guys are lucking out.
Guys, Kevin Thomas, 3-0, college basketball all over the Sports Memo leaderboards. He's going to be sticking around for a bit. If you got a question or comment for him, we're going to try to get to your questions and comments by the end of the show. Guys, as well as everybody else on the panel. I know Tokyo Brandon has another video commitment today. Apparently, he makes a lot of money doing adult films, and that's, pressing for them. I'm just kidding. Guys,
I pick Ron Jeremy's place.
I don't want to split the cat in the bag, but he's known as Godzilla over in Tokyo. That's all I'm saying. Having said that, guys, I want to go to my good friend, Don Buster. Don Buster is a leaderboard fixture in multiple sports over at Sports Memo, and he does, but he's our perennial ice guy, man. He talks about the NHL, and I always learn a lot from Don as well. I don't handicap NHL, but every time I've gotten a play from Don and went and bet it, I've won it. And I love Don Buster. He's doing great work over at Sports Memo. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side. He's got a free best bet. Don Buster, take it away.
Well, thank you, Joe. Our show play here today is going to be a game that I have not bet yet. And the only reason is because we're still waiting on this line we think it's going to come down a little. But here, our play is going to be Carolina and Dallas in the NHL, over 6 at even money. Now, right now, there are a couple 5.5s over 20, which, of course, I would rather lay the juice than take the 6 at even, because 6 is the key number that we always talk about. But so we'll be waiting on this play. So I just wanted to let everybody know to keep an eye out, watch the boards. Once you see the 5.5, once I see the 5.5 that I know my clients can get 5.5 readily, I will play it. If it never gets there, 6 even is good as well. So we like this game. We actually had 7.1 as our total, so we like the game over anyways. Just want to talk about these two clubs could be the 2 best clubs in the NHL. Like, they are really good. I know there's a lot of good teams fighting for that top, with Colorado and maybe even Toronto, which I don't even like to say that, but there's a lot of great teams in the NHL right now, all fighting for those number 1 positions. These 2 teams wouldn't surprise me if you've seen one of them in the Stanley Cup final this year. And then sometimes in hockey, like these two teams, the reason why they're so good, they can play offensively or defensively. Like you want to play an offensive type game, they'll play 5-4-6-5 with you. You want to play defensive, they can play 2-1 with you. But when these two clubs get together, they seem to play more offensively. They actually played on December 17th. It was a 5-4 Carolina win, and there's almost 70 shots combined together with these clubs because both teams can put the puck in the net. Dallas does play a little bit more defensively than Carolina does, but the last 5 meetings in Dallas, 4 overs, 1 under. Carolina, they have just said, screw the defense. We're going to show everybody that we can outscore you in the regular season, and then we're going to beat you up in the playoffs by playing hard-nosed defense and scoring goals. This is a Carolina team I really like. They are right now 9-1 to the over their last 10 games. As I said, looking for that 5.5 and to pay a little juice is fine with us, but we will take it over 6 at even money. As I always say, 6 is a very easy number to get to. It's a key number when you're betting NHL totals.
Canes, Stars, over 6, Don Buster, one of the best in the business, period. But when it comes to the Iceman, whoo, he always finds the back of the net. Go follow Don Buster over at Sports Memo. You will follow him with some of the best customer appreciation discounts on the planet. Follow him to the bank. He's going to stick around for a little bit as well. We're going to go with my good friend Tokyo Brandon. You know, Tokyo Brandon's he became a fan favorite here. I got to tell you that. He hit the ground running on the First Family Show. He gives out tons of free winners, multiple sports. He does a lot of sports that, you know, that I don't do. So when he's talking, man, he's like, yeah, fun. We all listen. You know, he's got a great discount. I'm going to be flashing off when he is giving his free best bet. But he's doing great work over at WagerTalk. He finished number 1, 2021, 2022, back-to-back years over at WagerTalk. Let me tell you what, guys, that's like being the best hitter, having the best batting average on the Yankees in the 20s. He is one of the best in the world, and numbers don't lie. The 2 best slates of cappers in this business, Sports Memo, WagerTalk. So when you're number 1 or in the top few in all profit sports at one of those sites, you're doing great. You're number 1 for back-to-back years. You're not doing great. You are great. Tokyo Brand's going to tell you what he's been doing at WagerTalk. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side of WagerTalk. He's got a free best bet. TB, take it away, buddy.
Well, thanks for the kind words. And you mentioned Ricky Henderson. I would have to say if probably could be the best baseball player of all time, in my opinion. If you look at what Ricky Henderson did in his career, opposed to other players, he's kind of the Wayne Gretzky. He's like head and shoulders above everyone else. I'd probably pick him in a fantasy draft if I could have any position player in the history of baseball. So that's just my input on Ricky Henderson, although he was a jerk. But anyways, yeah, I got 2 specials going on right now. One is the one down there that you see. The World Baseball Classic is going to be almost a 2-week tournament. You can get my all access for 2 weeks for $55 if you use WBC55 at Tokyo Brandon's page at WagerTalk.com. I also have a 5% play, which is the maximum play we can do at WagerTalk. I have that going on Friday in EuroLeague basketball. I do sports that are a little bit off the beaten path, but you'll find that those numbers are much softer than NFL and NBA numbers. So probably is why I was number 1 for 2 years in a row at WagerTalk, because the numbers I'm betting are a lot softer than the numbers you can get in American sports and college basketball as well. So yeah, they might not be the sports you flick on your TV and watch every Sunday, but they are sports you can win money on. And those are the sports I do. So baseball will start up March 8th. That's when the World Baseball Classic starts. But until then, we have some basketball going on. EuroLeague, I'm pretty strong in it. My record right now is 32-20 in EuroLeague. So doing pretty good in EuroLeague basketball. And I do have a play in the Fenerbahce versus Lyon play. So EuroLeague is they take a bunch of countries' teams and they mix them all together. We got Turkey, France, Israel. They're all represented in the EuroLeague. So Fenerbahce is one of the best teams, and they're winning. They're winning consistently. They're in really good form, and they're one of the best home teams in EuroLeague. And they're hosting Lyon here. Lyon, pretty much a bottom dweller. Their plus-minus ratio is terrible. Fenerbahce always outscores their opponents. I looked at this line. I got it at 4. Fenerbahce -4. But when I took another look at the book. It's 3.5. I don't know why. Fenerbahce, I have them winning by 8.5 here. So in the EuroLeague tomorrow, take Fenerbahce versus Lyon and lay up to 5 points. I would lay up to 6 points here, but you only have to lay 3.5. So my free play for this, which is a 3% client play, is Fenerbahce -3.5.
Tokyo Brandon, number 1, all sports profit. 2 years in a row. WagerTalk said Fenerbahce, go take him with the 5 or 6. Now, once again, TB, Tokyo Brandon's got his own discount for the World Baseball Classic. All access, $55. Use code WBC55 upon
Let me
checkout.
just throw in, that'll probably be about 20 plays too, because it's a 10-day tournament.
Oh.
Yeah.
20 plays, $55. You can't beat that with a bat, no pun intended. He is a winner. Now, he's got another commitment. He's going to try to stick around. If you have any questions or comments for Brandon, fire away, guys. I know everybody's going to stick around. We're kind of running fast today, even though I'm long-winded as usual, because, it's always Dionne. It's Dionne. Why we run long. I blame Dionne for everything.
Yeah.
It's always her, She's actually the yin to my yang, I'll be honest with you. And I do miss her today. She's down the hall doing some stuff. But, I figured, we got 5 solid guys on today. Let's give her a day off. She actually
Joe, this is the second show that she's missed when I'm on. So I'm kind of thinking maybe she's got some problems.
It's not you at all. It's Pavlos. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Actually, no. She just needed a day. She was a little tired.
I'm joking.
She needed a day. But then again, that I'm the boss because I gave her the day off. She's not here. I could say that she's down the hall. Having said that, I want to talk about my good friend Pavlos. He went 3-0 last week in 5%. 3-0 last week, 1-0 this week, correct?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
4 straight 5% winners.
Don't sell him short.
Guys, no, I would never sell him short. I know last week alone, 3-0. This week, 1-0 already. He's the best capper I've ever seen in any individual sport, period. And I've worked with everybody over the last 30 years in this business. The icons, the guys that came and went. And I'll tell you what, I've never seen somebody as good as Pavlos in any individual sport, and he's the best I've ever seen. That's why we've given the moniker the Greek god of soccer. Pavlos, fresh off another 5% winner yesterday, is going to tell you what he's been doing at Sports Memo, what you can expect from him on the premium side of Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet. Pavlos, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Actually, these 5% and 10% have been really, really good so far in the season. In all 5% bets in 2022 and 23, actually in the season, 30 and 11 plus 74 units, 74.15. In last 10 5% side bets, because I do have a 10% side bet going live on Saturday, which is a huge one. And these 10% side bets have been really, really good as well. In the last 10, I'm 7-1-2, 87.5 winning percentage and plus 52.4 units. And again, won each of my last 4 5%. And this is actually a 5% material, but it is a 10%. It's a match of the week, match of the month, or whatever you want to call it. It's a huge match, and I got the best angle on it. Now, I do have a nice client play. It's actually much like Brandon's. It's a 3% play for me as well. It's a play from soccer going live today, 2:45 p.m. Eastern, from the Portuguese League Cup. Now, most of the sports books out there, they do offer the lines in this match. You can find it under Portuguese League Cup or Taca da Liga. Now, we got a semi-final here, match between Porto and Viseu. Porto, are one of the best teams in the top tier division of Portugal. They play in the Champions League as well. Again, one of the best teams. And Viseu, they play in the second division. However, they're doing a really good job so far. They're still in 3 competitions. They're just a couple of points off behind the top 3 spots in their league that grant promotion to the top league. They've already made it through to the semifinals of the League Cup. They're now playing against Porto tonight. or actually I should say today, and they're also through to the quarterfinals of the cup, not the League Cup, where they also face Porto. So they're having a really strong season so far. They've scored in all 26 matches in all competitions, and they're unbeaten in their last 20 matches with 16 wins and 4 draws. So this Viseu side, you might have never heard of it, but they're really dangerous so far in the season. And they're 22-4 to the both teams to score in all competitions, and 11-0 to the both teams to score on the road. Now, this is a very tricky match for Porto. I would stay away from that money line. It's way too low for Porto. And keep in mind that this is a cursed competition for Porto, who they went to the final, I believe, 4 times, and they've lost all 4. So they've never won this competition, and they really do want to win this one. Their coach now, actually, it's very interesting because both coaches, they used to play as players together in Porto and in the Portuguese team. They've played 85 matches together as players, and now they're coaches. They're up against one another. Just a small, an extra fact for this match. So Porto, again, they're undisputed favorites in this match, but I do not see them winning easily. I see Viseu scoring in this one, and I'm taking both teams to score at +110. And again, guys, if you're searching for this league, for example, DraftKings has this as Portuguese League Cup. Barstool has it as Portuguese Taca de Liga. So if you have any questions regarding this play or any other plays, just my Twitter is down there, Poly_WT. Just shout, give me a shout, and I'll give you, whatever you want to know.
Gotta love Pavlos.
Pavlos, I see this on Pinnacle, and Viseu is +2.5 at -110. That looks pretty good too.
Yeah, that's actually that's why I would stay away from picking Porto. I do see Porto winning by like 2-1, 3-1, stuff like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 1-1 draw. Keep in mind, guys, that this is a single match. If the result is a draw after 90 minutes, they play penalty kicks and extra times and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 1-1 draw. Stay away from Porto for this match. Okay, stay away.
Great stuff from the Greek god of soccer. 4-0 last 5% plays, 7-1-2, 87.5% on his 10% releases. Last 10, he's got a big 10% release for you guys. Go over to Sports Memo after the show. Follow Pavlos. You're going to follow him to the bank. Guys, I'm going to do my free play, just like my wedding night, very quick but very potent. Then we're going to get any questions or comments from you guys. We'll run down today's free plays in time for you to get out of here. Take advantage of the free winners. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need coffee. You don't need Red Bull. I am excited. You don't even need that Viagra because I am red hot. Sports fans documented at 7-2 in premium releases in my NFL sides the last few weeks. $2 Tuesday feature capper this week. I have my AFC game of the month as my $2 Tuesday play. It is available straight through Sunday, but I'm going to tell you right now, my games of the month this NFL season documented at 14-5 over at Sports Memo, just $2. Also, guys, last year, nobody was near me in 10% releases, 19-4. Now, I did drop my first this year. I'll tell you right now, did not sit well with me the other day, but I've never, ever dropped back-to-back big games like that. This Sunday, some angles have changed in the other game. So I have a big game. I have my 13-0 NFL postseason angle play. They were 11-0 going into the postseason. I've won 2 the last 2 weeks. I've isolated an angle in a big game. 19-4, 2022. Go and get that 10% play. I got that posted as well. Also, just to let you know, being particular in the NBA has once again paid off for me and anyone that follows me. 70% across 7 weeks in the NBA. Don't put out a lot of plays, but what I put out is getting you paid. Tonight, I have 2 big winners for you. I have my NBA 20-7 Las Vegas Strip move and my NCAA Basketball Big East Game of the Week. Ideal time to take advantage of that 7-day all-access pass. $59. Use code PASS7 upon checkout for me or the first lady who's all over Fox Sports leaderboard. She pisses me off. She really does. But it's nice to see D'Amicos are always up on those leaderboards. Having said that, my free play today, let's get into it. I am excited about this game. Now, I do want to tell you guys, I originally was going to come in with the Philadelphia 76ers. Then there was some reports that Embiid may not play, so I took that right down. And this is a game that almost made it as a premium play, but I wanted to give you guys something. Still might make it as a premium play. I wanted to give you something I was very excited about. The last 2 days, I've done 4 shows on Sports Memo TV, 3 and 1 my free best bet releases today. I continue to get you paid with a free winner. NBA Raptors travel to the Golden One Center to face the Kings. My friends, very quietly, Sacramento has taken over the top spot in the Pacific, 27-19, 3-game lead over LA. Overall, they possess the third best record in the Western Conference. Very quietly, you would never imagine it, guys. I'll tell you that. I wish I would have bet them earlier on or even before the season began. Guys, they are running red hot. Sacto has won 7 of the last 8, both straight up and against the spread. This is a team striding at the moment. That does not bode well for a Toronto squad that, in my opinion, is very Jekyll and Hyde. Granted, they come off a win at home against New York the other night to give them their second consecutive cover, but this team is absolutely point spread poison when they take it on the road. They've covered just 5 of the last 16 as a visitor, folks. Very uncharacteristic. Let's flip it. This point in the NBA season, the Kings are a very healthy team. I just don't see the banged-up, lackluster Raptors offense keeping pace on the scoreboard with the NBA's healthy, top-scoring team. Sacto averaging over 120 points per game, ranking 3rd in field goal percentage, 8th from beyond the arc, 10th in free throw percentage. Not only that, but they have a top 5 core on the defensive glass. So any opportunities for second chance shots Toronto could get, they're going to run into some problems there as well, my friends. You know, the last few seasons, Toronto has had their way with Sacramento, but this season, these are 2 very different teams. The Kings took the only meeting this season with the Raptors back in December on the road, 124 and 123, and they're a much better team right now, guys. I really like this. This may still make it as a premium play, okay? If it's still, because I went on, they were -3 before the show started. If they're still -3, I still may boot them up as a premium play. Take Sacramento, take your bookmakers' money, guys. Let me bring on this good-looking bunch of all-stars. We got a lot of comments, guys. Obviously, Jesse Schul always chimes in. You know, we got to love Jesse. But he keeps, guys, just between us, let me get that Sacramento game down. He always sends me pictures of himself at the gym. Why is he sending me pictures? It's freaking me out like at 2 a.m. But, Jesse, we love you. He'll be on, I think, tomorrow. We got a couple of things. He loves that me and Don Buster are in the same colors. Our good buddy Vince Vegas says, yo, Vince has become a real big favorite of ours, Dionne and myself here. All right, this one was for Kevin Thomas. Kevin, talking about Aaron Rodgers coming here. Ayahuasca, that's that mushrooms that gets that Aaron Rodgers takes. So, yes. But you know what? You never know. This is Vegas. You can find that in front. Be honest with you, when I walk down the strip, Kevin, there could be 100 people walking in the crowd. I'll get hit up by 6 different drug dealers going, hey, you want this? You want? Dan and I, we have a laugh. We make an over and under when we go in front of Planet Hollywood or in front of the Paris. How many people will ask me if I want to buy anything? And usually I haven't heard about ayahuasca. I don't even know what that is, but back. We got, all right, this is from our good friend Chip. Ricky Henderson could do it all. Amazing ball player. Got a great Ricky story. I'll save it for another time because I want to get the closing thoughts and comments from our
best position player in the history of baseball, in my opinion.
Can I tell you, he was a headache every team he was on, but boy, could he produce. Yeah. So it doesn't really
I would pick
matter.
Him number 1.
Oh, he was amazing. Best leadoff hitter I've ever seen. I'll tell you that. Well, Pavlos, we got one for you, buddy. You know you're a fan favorite, Pavlos. Let you do Bundesliga. You just take it. How about that?
Yeah, it's he actually answered a lot of questions. They wanted to know if I had any Bundesliga, which is the German league, or Eredivisie, which is the Dutch league. I do have some plays loaded. I gave some opinions on some matches today. I think it's a tricky day, so tread carefully today.
Great stuff. All right, we got a lot of people. Vince loves us. Pavlo says cheers to him. Vince, all right. Everybody loves you, Pavlo. I mean, I gotta tell you, I think it's because every week we see Pavlos featured on TMZ. He's dating either a Kardashian, baby Rexa. There was a rumor that Gwen Stefani's baby is his. I know Blake Shelton called him out on that. I don't know. Let me go to Kevin Thomas. Kevin, we missed you on the show. We're glad you're back. Any closing thoughts and comments? We're going to get to closing thoughts and comments. Then we're going to run down today's free winners, get you out of here in time. Kevin, closing thoughts and comments for our viewers.
Yeah, I haven't been on the show for a while, and Pavlos looks like he's going to be a lead for ZZ Top soon. I mean, geez, I love that. I don't know how he gets the black, but that is pretty cool. So kudos to him. And make sure, NBA, that you wait. I would wait till the last minute before you make any NBA picks. Yesterday, I had the Miami Heat. Thank God I got the push. I did have 2.5 on some sites and got the win, but I did get the push on some other sites. Because you never know who's going to sit. Jimmy Butler being scratched at the last minute kind of killed that bet. But Just make sure NBA. You never know. You got to follow that injury report, but you got to follow it. I would bet right at 6:37. If you're in a sports book or if you're on the website, you can wait till the last minute. I mean, right before tip off and get a better read on that. The NBA has been so hard this year, so just make sure to watch the NBA. College basketball, you can bet right away because these kids want to play because they want to get to the NBA so they can get the breaks and the big money.
Great stuff from Kevin Thomas. Kevin, I think you would agree. I've been saying it for the last month or so. This NBA this season. I'll be honest. Coming into this, with college football ending and NBA really going full force, college football, the bowl games were difficult, more difficult than the previous years because of transfer portals and opt-outs. And I think we're seeing that, but we're seeing a lot of issues, as you mentioned, with the NBA sports fans. Kevin's giving you gold here. These betting insights are gold. Wait, because, Kevin, I grew up in an era with Larry Bird, where he would sit on the side, lay on the sidelines. I talk about it all the time because his back was killing, but he never missed a second on the floor. These guys I read last week, I was looking at a team. I said, I think I'm going to put this up. A star player said, I may not play tonight because I like to rest my hamstring. Kevin, it has been very tough. So when you're telling our people out there, wait with the NBA, man, that is gold. And Kevin, I think you would agree. If there's something you're not in love with or something that a line doesn't give you an advantage with, there's no law that says you have to bet every game on the board. Am I right, Kev?
That is correct.
I love this Kevin Thomas, guys. I want to go to my good friend Don Buster. Don's always got a great angle or some great information for all your bettors out there. Don Buster, any closing thoughts or comments for our people out there?
Well, truthfully, I'll just reiterate what Kevin said. Yeah, the NBA, but it's been like this for the last 3 years, ever since Popovich decided to play that old resting game years ago. Now everybody's in. Like each year gets worse and worse and worse, and now we're here where it's sometimes, I know there's a lot of guys that are very successful NBA bettors. We've been about 50-50 the last while. We just bet situational. Very small volume in that. To me, college basketball is where it's at. That's where you're better off betting college basketball all day long, except for and then when the NBA, when they decide they want to play and where the coaches will let everybody play, come the playoffs, then that's when we bet a lot of NBA. But Kevin hit it right on the head there. It's a tough league to be betting when all the time, last minute guys, the superstars are out and lines move like 5 or 6 points. Very, very tough to do. So I would recommend tread very lightly when betting NBA. We do it just on situational basis only. Like games where if a team's been, on the road for 4 games with their first home game back and the line seems a little fishy. So where you can sometimes get away with not worrying about if a couple of the guys get kicked out of the lineup because it's a situational play. But yeah, stick to college basketball is my theory.
There you go. Remember, guys, this isn't a popularity contest. It's about making money, and always give yourself the best advantage to do so. Tokyo Brandon, closing thoughts and comments for our viewers, buddy.
Yeah, as sports bettors, we have a big advantage. So if you know anything about blackjack, you would know that the house has about a 0.5% edge, and over time, you're eventually going to lose. But that's because you have to play every hand, and the house edge is in the fact that the player has to go first, which he will maybe bust. But as sports bettors, we have the advantage. We don't have to bet every game, just like you said, Joe. And so we can say, hey, I don't like the edge in that game. I'm laying off. We can pick and choose. There's 100 college basketball games. There's 100 EuroLeague games. Pavlos doing soccer. He's got about 1,000 games to choose from. We can pick and choose, so we can get an edge over the house. So this is our advantage in sports betting if you pick a capper that knows what he's talking about. And all of us on this show obviously do.
Great stuff from Tokyo, Brandon. Guys, I've never seen a bookmaker, a sports book, or a casino go out of business for lack of business. So that goes to show you, I've always been one that less is more. You don't have to bet every game on the board if it doesn't give you an advantage. And this is great. This is gold you're getting. And you're getting different angles from some of the best guys in the history of this business. Pavlos, Laguretos, closing thoughts and comments. Then we're going to run down all the free plays and get you guys on out here in time so you can take advantage of these free winners, get these bets. And Pavlos, take it away.
I just wanted to chime in about the NBA. You know, the teams that's resting a couple of players, actually a lot of them, because even though I'm not regularly capping the NBA, I'm watching it. I play, I do NBA fantasy and stuff, and I bet on props just for myself though, because I don't really release them as client plays because, as you said, guys, teams are doing really weird stuff with the rosters this season, and I think I just it's just one of my thoughts and fears, if I may, that they're tanking intentionally to get Wembanyama. Even a half percent chance to get them. The teams that are not gonna make the playoffs do have a chance for the lottery, right? So even a half percent chance to get that player who is like a generational monster and has a like the potential to shift the entire franchise to send it to stardom. Yes, of course they will. Of course they will rest everybody. They don't give they don't care. They don't care. So they're tanking for a season or two. I think some of the teams were tanking since last season, so it doesn't seem suspicious, but it is suspicious. And to a trained eye like mine, and of course like yours, you know that these players are not sitting just to rest. They're sitting for the team to lose. So they have maybe just a chance. They're going to say at the end of the season, yes, we tried to get to make the playoffs, but then we didn't. Yeah, of course, sure. So anyway, that was just my thought. So that's all I have to say.
Gotta love Pavlos. Sports fans, everybody out there likes action, a little bit of action. And we got a lot of comments about, when I get 50%, I get pissed, and NBA is a joke. I get it, guys. Understand this. Should be enjoyable for you. But it's always been my experience when you're making money, it's always more enjoyable. But you don't have to bet every game on the board, okay? This is something you could supplement your income. Now, I'm going to tell you now.
This is our advantage to pick and choose. This is our advantage as sports.
I don't know soccer, but I've bet 15 soccer plays that Pavlos has given me over the last several months. I've gone 15-0. I listen to Don Buster when it comes to hockey. Kevin Thomas is one of the most well-read baseball guys I've ever seen. Now, I know baseball real well, but when Kevin talks baseball, I listen. He's very good in all sports. I didn't want to just single out baseball, but I absolutely listen. So even somebody like me who's been doing this 40-something years, when Tokyo Brandon tells me about the World Baseball Classic, which is something I don't bet, I will listen. You know why? Because when I'm sick, I go to a doctor. I don't take out my own friggin' appendix, okay, guys? I don't know anything about a car but where the gas goes, okay? So if my car has an issue, I bring it to the mechanic. I don't go to fix it myself and with a YouTube video, guys. Let me tell you, you go to the best cappers in the business because they have the time, which is big, the resources, the savvy, the experience to do this. All right, guys, I'll be honest with you. I could probably learn how to split the atom if I give it the time. I don't have the background, the education, or the time to split the friggin' atom. So I leave it to the geniuses of the world. I know how to pick winners. Brandon, Pavlos, Kevin, Don, Buster. This isn't what we do. This is who we are. Okay, you get a cop. We got the best police in the world in Southern Nevada, North Las Vegas, Metro, California, and Highway Patrol and Henderson. A cop gets off work just because he's not wearing a uniform. He sees a crime, he's going to stop it because that's not what he does. That's what he is, and that's what Don, Kevin, Pavlos, Brandon, myself are. This is what we are. You come to us, and we will supplement your income. Having said that, let's run down the free plays, get on out of here. My good friend, Kevin Thomas, what'd you have for everybody today?
Pitt Panthers -3.
I love Kevin. Don Buster.
I've got Carolina, Dallas over 6, but just remember, sit back and wait because I think it's going to go to 5.5. It's not there yet. It's still 6 with even money, but hang in there for a couple hours and hopefully we'll get a 5.5.
I love Don Buster. Tokyo Brandon.
Fenerbahce over Lyon. I would lay up to 6 in this one.
And my good buddy, Pavlos Laguretos.
I have a match for the Portuguese League Cup going live today, 2:45 p.m. Eastern. Porto versus Viseu. We're going to take the both teams to score +110.
I love him. And your sexy and favorite host said the Sacramento Kings tonight -3. Guys, we've come to an end. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Let me bring this up here real quick. Follow all of our guests on Twitter as well as myself. My wife, the First Lady of Las Vegas. Tune into all special Sports Memo TV shows for a ton of free winners and some great betting insights as well. On behalf of Sports Memo, WagerTalk, Kevin, Don, Pavlos, Brandon, my wife, and myself, Joey D. This is the First Family of Las Vegas. Everyone out there, good luck and have a winning day.